everybody. I've already done your reading. I'm just doing the intro at the end because of a slight muck-up. Today's reading is the person you need in your life, and what I do is that I go through a pile of cards of something that possibly you could have even experienced it, something you don't want, somebody you don't want in your life, and then I do a pile with what you do need in your life, what type of person you possibly are looking for, and then I can put them two together to basically reinforce the what you want pile. You've got three choices. The first one is Hope, Lady and the Bird. The second one is Sun and Moon. And the third one is Melusine. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but that's the third one. Okay, so I'll see you in your piles in a minute then. If you want to have an extra look, there you go. See you in a minute. Hi, pile number one. I'm going to restart. This is my second restart. To be totally honest with you, my mind is really slow today. It's nice. It feels nice. And I've had really, really heavy dreams. I just thought I'll go do a reading. Really, really heavy dreams. And I'm still in them in my head. I could tell you what they are, but I think they'd bore you stupid. But it feels nice for me. But what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to strike a middle ground between being really slow and trying to hype it up, like YouTube style, and be really sort of giddy. I'm just going to try and be myself, but that you can relate to. All right, okay. So this pile here is what you don't want. This pile here is what's coming towards you or what you need in your life. So these first few cards, you've got the Six of Cups and the Four of Cups. The Six of Cups, this is what you don't want, is nostalgic, holding on to the past, a little bit soppy, a little bit sentimental, a little bit non-experimental. Yeah, I'm a poet. It's just somebody who doesn't like change, possibly, but who can be very, very kind, very, very giving. It's like Cancerian type card, but finds comfort in what they know. This is what you don't want. The Four of Cups card here with the Yeti hugging the lady with horns, everyday situation, is a card of what I guess is blasé, nonchalant. It's one of those cards that if it was somebody, it would be you saying, you know, I really like you. Would you like to get together? And, oh yeah, you're fine. You're quite nice too. So it's like there's no energy in it. There's no like comeback. There's no fire in this pile here. So I don't know if you like fire, whether you're fire yourself. It's like somebody who either keeps you at arm's length, or is cool-natured, or is non-committal. That's three posh words I've got in that. To me, non-committal is a posh word. The Two of Swords here again is neither here nor there. It's a bit sort of stubborn. It's a bit sort of, they're not saying what they want, but neither are they giving you any way forward whatsoever. It's like they don't want to go east. Both of these cards are like, I don't really know what I want. It's, what is the word? Lackadaisical. Sorry, I've got loads of words in my head today, and I think it's every word I've ever been called by a teacher in school. And that's probably where I've got them all from. So you've got like a sappy feeling here, a bit sort of no guts, no glory feeling at the top here. It's somebody that can be very caring, very giving, very safe, got a pension, all they're stored up in the bank, but isn't living in the moment. This is what you don't want. Got a pension, imagine that. Then you've got here the Tower and the Fool. Remembering this is the complete opposite of what we've got up here. So the Tower and the Fool to me speak of drama. It's like big happenings, you know, big experiences, things falling to pieces. The Fool card is like restarting, complete opposite of up here. So what you don't want is somebody that facilitates, is that actually a word, between doing nothing, and then it's a bit like, I'm going to say bipolar there. Is that the correct word? You know, when I don't know if this is right, when somebody is quite, I suppose, down and quiet and then goes to the complete opposite. You know, somebody who's quite heightened and moving and excited by life. There was a really interesting documentary about, what's his name? An old boxer who was bipolar. It was, anyway, I'm not going to talk about it, but it was really interesting. You want somebody who is stable in their fire, which means they know what they want, they say what they want, and they're still steam's running for a long distance rather than all in and all out again. So that Leo is probably a good choice at the moment. That's fire and that's fixed. So you're going to get somebody who's steady with it. The other two fires, Aries, Cardinal, very good at initiating, but they lose interest really quickly. Sagittarius, just funny, here, there and everywhere. It's fun to be with. So you wouldn't get this with a Sagittarius, but you possibly would get, quite an explosive excitement. And then, Sagittarius are just, difficult to pin down, I would say. You've got reinforced here the Four of Discs. What you don't want somebody who you can't suggest things to. You don't want somebody who doesn't show you affection. You don't want somebody who is non-committal. That's what it would say here. The Hangman and the Moon card again, although again very different cards, major arcana here as well. It's like somebody who, the Moon card with these non-committal cards is slippery. It's a little bit like I know lots of people like this. You can't get a straight sentence out of them. You ask them something and it's just the way they talk in riddles at you. You just can't get anything straight out of them. You can deal with people like this in work and you're actually not sure what they really want at the end of the day. I had a neighbour like this. He was a little bit tricksy, to be honest. But he would basically, I'm going to be, as this would say, the type of person you would like. They actually lied. I think he actually lied. But you do it in such a way you're not really sure. The Hangman here is, again, it's like watching, not doing much about it. Thinking, this lacks fire. This whole pile lacks fire, and it may be fire that you're looking for. To have no fire in your chart makes you, especially if everything else is balanced, can make you quite emotional. If you've got the water there, it can make you, good with thoughts, good at thinking, good at ideas, reading a lot. And there isn't a lot of, there is disc energy in here, but disc energy, which isn't the Four of Discs. Four of Discs, okay, Four of Discs. Oh my God, Four of Discs is... I'm not starting again, this is my third start. Four of Discs is steady, not non-committal. You want somebody with a bit of life in them, somebody that hasn't got their head stuck in a book, somebody who knows that they like you, is going to say that they like you, knows where they want to go with you, wants life to be fun and exciting in the moment. You don't want somebody who is excitable enough to be, like their life be filled of drama and new experiences all the time. You don't mind new experiences, but they've got to have an element of desire in it, not, what's the word, when you sort of frittered around the place. It's not just try this, try that, try that. It's like, this is what I want to do, I'm going to work towards it, I'm going to go, and it's going to be fun. You want somebody who's centred, but with guts and excitement there. You've got here again, Five of Pentacles. There's lots of, what you do not want is somebody who's shut off from you. Some people you may think, oh, that's an obvious thing to say, but to be honest, I quite like somebody who ignores me a little bit and gives me free time. So it's not the same for everybody. Somebody who slightly ignores me because I need a lot of space. So this, but that's not for you, is what I'm saying. The Nine of Swords here, again, has got somebody... Oh, what's that quote after Burn After Reading, that old film with Brad Pitt in it and Frances Dormand, is that her name? Where she says, I need a can-do guy. This is it. You don't want somebody who has negative mind processes. You're not, maybe platonic people might, but you're not sucked into wanting to solve somebody's problem, wanting to see depth in somebody. You want somebody who knows who they are, somebody who's straightforward and somebody who moves in life. Somebody who's excited by the day. Seize the day. The Seven of Cups here as well. Non-committal. To me, it's the same. Lots of options, not knowing what to do with it. So, and I'm thinking here of fire. You too, and I'm not going to talk about particular signs, but you can get fire that is so dispersed it doesn't really know what it wants and tries everything, like stuffing a cake, loads of different cakes in your mouth. You want fire that's mature, that has all the gumption and the ability to initiate, the confidence, but that's basically it. You want that. You don't want somebody you want somebody mature, experienced in life, to know what they want and how to deal with themselves when things don't go right. This card here, I had a friend in uni years and years ago who, his name was, I'm not going to say his name, just in case. Anyway, he came from, I think it was Barbados, and he took his girlfriend back to Barbados. And she said from the moment that she got into the airport, for the whole week or two that they were there, she was in a stinking mood. I thought, and at that age, when I was in my 20s, the thought of going to Barbados was so exciting that I couldn't believe it. I thought, why on earth would you spoil a holiday having a bad mood? This to me is, you don't want somebody like that gentleman's girlfriend, somebody who just spoils experience because they can't control themselves. And there's something in that when you get little sort of messages when you're with people, especially if you're young and they can't sort their mind out quickly when negative things have happened. That's a real big no-no. Not often I say that, but I think, they may grow out of it, but to me that would put me off. Somebody that carries it on for days and days, which can be quite Cancerian, to be honest. From experience in my family. So what you don't want is somebody who is over hashing the past, negative thought processes, somebody who doesn't show you that they like you, somebody that can't make a decision, isn't decisive, and then facilitates in between a bit of drama and sulking. You want somebody who says they like you, somebody who knows what they want to do, what job they want, where they want to go, even if it's just the next year. And you don't want somebody who's too up in their head. So let's see. This is going to be difficult for me. Let's just see. You want somebody's Ace of Earth. That would be somebody, as I said, maybe looking for somebody who knows what they want in the next few years. The Ace of Earth is steady and starting something that has a future, whether it is like having a mortgage or being in a job where they're building themselves up or applying themselves to a relationship and then building on it. Not applying themselves to a relationship and then getting bored. You want somebody perhaps with a little bit more earth in them. Fire and earth together is powerful. That's what I would say. Can be very powerful. The Psyche card here, to put these two together, the Psyche card is soul, basically. And this is a very strong card. I go through like tarot readings and I go through astrology thoughts and astrology readings. And sometimes the more that you look into it, some of the archetypes change. And Psyche to me is finding somebody in your life, a bit like who wakes you up. I know that's, oh my God, that just sounds silly, doesn't it? Because it's obviously that, it's your soul, but to experience it is different. It's different from just saying it. It's like somebody it's that aha moment. I know that all makes sense to me. That's something I've been searching for 50 years. That person, that information, that situation, that awakening, that's what you're looking for. So what you're looking, these non-committal cards here I kept saying, you want somebody that feels like it's got a soulful link. You probably are quite excited by those deja vu feelings when you recognise somebody. When a clairvoyant says that person's name and they come into your life. It's got to have that little bit of extra. It's got to be somebody that's steady and focused with you. Six of Wands, let's turn them all over together. The Devil card with the Ace of Earth again could be it could go negative and positive. It could be, it's not negative, but it could go very earthy, as in the Devil card is like a Capricorn feeling. So that will be somebody who sets themselves up in life. No, it's not negative. I suppose I was going to give you a different interpretation. What was I going to say? I was going to say materialistic, to be totally honest. And it could be. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I think the correct thing to say with these two cards and saying if they are materialistic, I feel that it's okay to chase money, to chase security, but to be able to walk away from it when your decisions, you lose your soul in the decisions, if that makes sense. You know, when you tie yourself into a job that you're really unhappy in, or you're in a relationship because that person you married has got loads of money. I mean, we all know this, don't we? But that's probably the negative bit that I was going to say. We shouldn't have done really. But what you are looking for, the Ace of Earth and the Devil card, is somebody who has substance with regards to how they have progressed materially in this lifetime. That they have got a house, or they at least got a flat, or they're dedicated towards getting that in some way. These are my thoughts. These are the cards, honest. Somebody that doesn't fritter away money. Somebody that's not gambling. Somebody that builds on who they are, studies perhaps, or sensible. And Capricorn and the Ace of the Earth card is becoming a little bit more enlightened with earthy people around me, because I have got a few more earthy people around me at the moment, and I watch them a lot and how they manifest. Basically what I see is what I'm trying to say, but that was like New Age language. What I see in them is they will put a lot of money into food and they will make a really nice meal. This sounds really trivial, but that's important to them. And I'm thinking, yeah, I can see that. It's something that's real. It's something that's in front of you. Airy people don't eat. They're just not interested in it. When I was younger, I could go days without eating, never even think about it. Now I do because I was ill years ago. But this is like somebody who enjoys taste, you know, sensual, earthy things, sex, tasting things, you know, being secure, money, working hard for what they want. And this is what you want. The Six of Wands, again, goes very much with this up here. The Six of Wands is somebody who's confident in who they are, knows what they want. There's no fanning around with, which are the fanning around cards? Four of Cups. Four of Discs to some extent, maybe not, no. But this is like over dramatic but non-committal. You know, what use is that to anybody? This is immaturity with this rest of the pile. You know, when you're about 15, 16, 17, I don't know, and you'd fancy a bit of attention. That's those two, the rest of the pile. That's what you don't want. The Six of Wands is confidence in what you do want, and there's something to be said in that. And I don't know if some people are born with it, but a lot of people get there later on in life through experiences, I suppose. And it's not like aggressively, I want this, I'm going to have it. It's like, this is what I would like to bring into my life. Your person could be older or just all together when they're young. They know what they want and they're confident enough to say it and to chase it with these cards here. Eight of Wands again, you're looking for fire. You're looking for somebody. Fire to me in a relationship is somebody that experiences life. The type of person that gets up, and again, I can give examples from what I've seen in the last couple of days with fiery people. It's not fire and earth need to, this is what this will feel like. It'd be somebody who experiences their locality in a very in-depth way, goes to lots of different restaurants, goes camping, is interested in the environment, the plants, because this is the earthy bit, in the sea, in being in it, being involved in it. So you want somebody who is happy to be in the day, concentrating on the day, tasting, touching, sensing, experiencing. You want somebody who's confident and knows who they are and what they want, not somebody who is a little bit insipid when they are relating to you. You want somebody that feels, this is like a big want, isn't it? I know. But you want somebody that feels like it's a soulful, karmic connection, that you're meant to be together. And we've all had relationships where you think, okay, I feel like I'm doing this because somebody's watching it looks good. That's not the wrong way to put it. It feels like, you know, when you're about 15, 16 and everybody's got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you think that, okay, well, I'm going to have one. So you get one and you're like going through this, it's like, yeah, oh my gosh, this feels a bit flat. but it feels like what you're meant to be doing. And then with the psychic card, then you find that one that you think about first thing in the morning and want to see straight away. This is this pile. This is two people. I'm going to stop in a minute because I know I'm going on too long. Two people that experience the day with excitement and fun and laughing when they go to bed at night. That's what you need. That's the person for you. Earth and fire may be doing it for you there. Somebody steady. No drama, no silliness, no game playing, no, insipid. Maybe I like you, but I may see you next week. It's that you just want somebody with you experiencing, somebody that is like a hands-on person that enjoys everyday activities. So this is like, you're not looking for grandiose. You're not looking for drama or excitement. You're looking for somebody to live with. Somebody that laughs with you and enjoys a meal with you and kisses you goodnight. Yeah. That's what I've got there. Sensible and fun. So I'm going to leave you there, pile number 1. I'm glad I've got that out because that was my third take. I'm going to love you and leave you. Oh, readings are released tonight, which should, if I get this off, Sunday night. I reboot the readings if they're sold out on HULUPPU.co.uk, which is the website. I've got a new reading on Patreon, which is a 48-hour reading, which you get back, obviously, as it says, 48 hours. So if you're interested in that, if you've got if there's information you want or you've got a problem, it may be easier for you to go there. I don't know. Anyway, they're there. I'm just letting you know. Thanks very much for spending your time with me. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. Excuse me. This pile here that is already upturned is what you don't want. And this pile here, which I'm putting out, is I haven't turned over yet. And this is what you do want. Hopefully they'll fit together to give me more idea of what you really do want when these cards come over. You've got here a feeling of a bit narcissistic. This is what you don't want. I do know what that means, but I don't. I mean, I've seen it in people, but I have seen it in people. I have seen touches of it in people. I was going to tell you which planets are involved then or what type of elements are involved, but I think that would be unfair because we've all got those planets, we've all got those elements, and you don't want to label yourself. There's no growth there once you label yourself. That's interesting about astrology as well. Why some people, I think, get frightened with astrology and tarot to some extent because they think that it's like fixed, this is me. And it's not, it's a journey. It's like, what have you got in your backpack before you start? And then, you can sort of change as things go. And that's like crap, isn't it? It's like ingredients for a meal. You're surrounding your pan and whatever, and you can make of it what you will. You've probably got set ingredients, but you've got to put in it and make your own personality through the experiences that come your way, which are often difficult, but, not always. Anyway, this is what you don't want. You've got a feeling, as I said, slightly narcissistic. The reason I'm saying that, I'll try and explain it, and you may think differently. The Hierophant card is quite an enclosed card. It's a strong card. It's Major Arcana. It's Taurus. Taurus is very stubborn. They don't move. Of all the possibly, apart from Pluto, strong Pluto, it's probably, I know Pluto isn't a zodiac sign, but it's the sign that probably is least likely to shift in an argument. So, and then the Hangman especially, flipping, I say bogies then, but that doesn't make sense. Let me show you the card, then I can explain it to myself as well. The Hierophant is like the big daddy of order, and it's not so much like the Emperor, but it's almost like, I'll give the information to you, it can delegate, but it still makes sure it's the centre that it retains control. Well, the Emperor basically has got a bit more of an entrepreneur feel of holding on to control themselves. They just don't give the information across. They stay the boss. But this is like it's seeped down to you, but it's still you've got something to answer to here. I don't feel a crap explanation that. The Page of Cups in the centre and there's loads of music going downstairs. the Three of Swords here is like a gift, sweetness with pain. So to me, the feeling I got here, this is like protocol, this is like organisation, this is like, you know, like it can be like a building or a business as well. To me, it feels like a situation. It's like somebody in different situations who possibly hurts you, puts yourself down, and it may be like sugar-coated, if that makes sense. I don't know what I thought with this card here, because I keep thinking at 12th house, I know it's not, but a business. Like a NHS or any organisation really, a church. It's like between home and outside environment is what I was thinking. It makes me think that somebody possibly either behind closed doors or in public, this is your worst nightmare, put you down. I remember having a boss once who was Aries Virgo, and I can remember him saying, I thought that's interesting, that I can't remember what he said, but what it was anybody who I find slagging me off behind my back is done to me. It was that type of sentence, few sentences. This is what this feels like. It's like somebody that you don't want is somebody who puts you down in public or nips at you behind closed doors. Sorry, it's taken a long time to say that. The Chariot card in the centre, these cards are all fiery. So when I put these out, I thought, well, this is like sweet and quiet, but painful and organised. You've got here the Sun card, the Knight of Cups. The Sun is like obvious and clear and clarity and truthfulness. And the Knight of Swords has got something to do with either delivering information, coming towards you, communicating. So, and the Chariot card is like pulling two different parts of themselves together. Again, to me, it feels like behind closed doors and in public. And the Empress card and the Eight of Wands, to me, this is like charming. Eight of Wands is somebody who can bat conversations around, make people laugh, amusing. The Empress card is somebody that's good looking. To me, what I've got here is your worst nightmare in somebody is somebody, maybe you're drawn to people who are good looking, somebody who's beautiful, somebody who everybody else loves, but is a bit of a slime ball behind closed doors, or nips at you, or puts you down, or shows you up in public. Maybe all of those. I was trying to go between one and the other, but that's what that feels like to me. The Chariot card is unable to pull those two sides of themselves together. It's like their public life and their home life are different, but neither are particularly good. One outwardly is the outward life is very schmoozy, as in like, you know, kissy and very sort of confident and high-flying. This is what you don't want. But behind doors, they may be a little bit snipey, painful, aggressive, hurtful, really. But there's a lack of self-awareness, I would say, here, with regards to like revealing subjects in public, you know, to saying things which nobody else should know about. It's a very, very unusual pile. It gives me the EBGBs. It makes me feel a little bit off. I've seen this in like, not somebody with all of this, but I've seen it in certain people, and to put this together, it's like, of course you don't want it, nobody wants it. You've got the Strength card again, but you've got that, it's like fire, it's like Leo with a Knight of Swords. And if this is like what you don't want, it's somebody who is showy-offy, holds attention, but is also too open with what I guess to you would be personal values or wishes or experiences, sharing them with others in a very open way. Maybe you're quite platonic, maybe you're just very secretive, maybe very watery in the fact that you just like, and there as well, you just like your quiet life, you like your peace, and you like to keep yourself to yourself. And somebody that's out in public, showing off and airing things that are close to your chest is not going to rub well with you. The Two of Wands here, don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. To me, to you, because of the personality that we may have got already with these cards here, it could be with the Eight of Wands, when we're saying it's very sort of flirty, easy to play with words with the Eight of Wands, and the Empress is good looking. You don't want somebody who always looks like they've got their eye on something else or what's coming next. So this to me is a rotten pile. This is what you don't want. So it's a good pile for that, because it's really obvious. It makes my stomach feel a bit sick, to be honest, because we see these qualities in lots of different people. To put them all together is like something that a film's made out of, like Psycho. You don't want somebody who is false. You don't want somebody who puts on a face for others. It's your worst nightmare. Somebody who reveals things that are private. Somebody that can't pull themselves together, hasn't got themselves in check, and takes out what I guess is their inadequacies on you, but when nobody else is watching. Almost like snidey remarks, that type of thing. Communication is a big deal in here, and this communication is sort of suggested that it's very open, very straight, but it has a negative impact on you. So I don't know what that means, whether it is putting you down in public, whether it is shouting at you in public, or just public airing of grievances in public, something like that. It's something that's open. I don't know what that means, to be honest. And this Two of Wands here, which would go with the personality, which does not sound attractive whatsoever, has got something to do, because this is like striking something. What's next? The potential of something, and you've got this person looking with this Empress and the Eight of Wands, which is like flirty and good looking. You don't want somebody charming without substance, is what this is saying. You don't want somebody that plays for the court. You want somebody who's strong, solid, possibly, let's see the rest of the cards, who is kind with you when you're on your own and doesn't really care what anybody else thinks. Your worst nightmare is the complete opposite, twisting it round so that they care what everybody else thinks, but aren't that bothered when people aren't watching. People used to say that about Madonna, didn't they? Or was it in that film? Do you remember that film she had that was black and white years and years ago? Blonde Ambition, wasn't that? I can't remember. It was like a behind-the-scenes film, and was it Warren Beatty that said, you don't have a life that's not in the public eyes, and you don't exist for anything but being seen. And that's what that pile is. Now, what do you want? The Ten of Air. Let's just pull these over together, and then this will be really difficult. And the full moon. With what you've got here and what you've got here, the Ten of Air is, to me, the Ten of Air is like, with this card, it's like ending of an experience. And that's quite dramatic. And you've got the full moon, which is an emotional impact, understanding it, things becoming clear that are emotional. So what you want is somebody who is genuine, who can take life's knocks on the heads. Narcissisms possibly can't. And I don't know anything about these type of, I know there's lots of it on YouTube, but this is what I would guess, that somebody narcissistic is protecting themselves because their ego is so vulnerable, so it becomes so big, if that makes sense. So possibly what they couldn't do is accept defeat. The bits in life where they don't pass the exams, where they're not loved, where they fall over in public and rip their pants. And I was getting stupid then, wasn't I? When just things where it's embarrassing and they see themselves as unworthy or vulnerable. And the full moon here is possibly, full moon being like an accumulation of emotions, being able to discuss it, to be able to understand themselves, for things to have some sort of clarity, hopefully with regard to difficult circumstances. This, to me, to have these two cards together, I don't know what's here yet, is absolutely beautiful, and I won't be able to put this into words. It's like somebody who is so internal, but you've got to be a good person with internal, haven't you? There's lots of very internal people who basically commit huge crimes. I wasn't going to go into details then, but I'm not. But it's like somebody that's so internal, and if they are confident and positive with themselves, that they're not knocked by anything external. Which is funny, because that's what my dream was last night. The Death card again. The Ten of Air and the Death card here. Both, I need to put the rest out before I say anything. I'm on the Moon again. And the Three of Swords. Oh my gosh. You want, this is like a plutonic pile. You want somebody who is strong and raw and able to take anything. This is not like, just take over a disappointment, like a love relationship ending. You want somebody who's almost superhuman with regards to what they can take on in life, what they've experienced, and how they still keep going is very important to you. Maybe you've had a past relationship with somebody that has lived a very sort of silly life. A life that is more concerned with validation that is either, as I said, silly or stupid or doesn't mean anything, or other people's opinions. This is like looking for somebody who, through a very plutonic phases in their life, which is probably a good word with the moon card here, have been able to pick themselves up. And the Three of Swords here is not afraid of pain. This narcissist, I guess, are afraid of pain. It's the fact they've built such a shell around them, they can't even go into themselves to look at themselves and why they do it. This is somebody that's, you've got the moon card here twice, you've got really tough cards, 10 of air, the death card and the Three of Swords. I don't know if you can see these cards. Let me show you them. To have these cards with the moon are cards of my life can fall to pieces and I can still keep moving. If you see these cards here, I don't know if you do tarot yourself, but it's like painful change, getting back up off the ground when everything's come to an end. So a bit like pile number 1 in the fact you need somebody with substance. You need somebody with grit. You need somebody... This, to me, you're not interested in somebody... You're not bothered whether they're good looking. You're not... Because you may have had that before and it was empty. You're not bothered whether they've got social standing. You're not bothered whether they are rich. It may be nice, but it's not top priority. You want somebody who's going to stick with you, who's going to possibly long-term be able to take all the ups and downs of life. Maybe you've experienced a few big moments in your life. You don't want... Sometimes after this experience, we look for somebody who's light-hearted. I don't think you do. This is like looking for somebody who's Pluto, and Pluto like life to be raw. So that's what I've got there. So to sum it up in a couple of sentences, the person you need in your life is somebody strong, open, honest, gutsy, able to look inward, possibly mature, maybe older than you with this pile here. There's a darkness inside them that they don't mind, that they accept. This person here does not, the person that you don't want does not accept it. It will push it onto other people. It's like this person knows it, but still keeps moving. This is brooding type of pile here. This is somebody who, if it was put into a character in a film, wouldn't say much, would be very sort of, there'd be I'm going to say, I can see dark hair. There's like a darkness about them in a good way that's, it's like attractive and I don't need anybody or anything. It's just an inner strength. Yeah. And I don't think people get to this, and I mean this from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, not just this lifetime, until we've all been dragged through the coals a bit. It's like, I know who I am, and that is incredibly, incredibly attractive. To get there and to be okay with it. To not be always going back and trying to be something else or living guilt or shame forever. It's like, life's tough, I'm here and I'm still moving. That's somebody you need to run alongside you to make, it's like somebody there's a term, isn't it? It's like a shoulder to cry on, really, that type of thing. Oh yeah, I know what it is, a rock. You need a rock. So, not the rock, but me. I was going to sing a rock song then, but I'm not. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. That's what I've got from that. I don't know if you read tarot, whether you agree. If you do or don't, put your comments in the comment section if you don't mind, because I like reading them. I will release readings tonight on the website, which is HULUPPU.co.uk, and there is a new reading on Patreon, which is a 48-hour reading, so I'll get that back to you in 48 hours. There's a panic on in my house. No, but it does get to you in 48 hours. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Bye. Okay, do you know when I don't know if anybody out there reads tarot for themselves or whether they read it, to other people, and you get a pile and you think the main thing that's coming through into your mind is not going to apply to anybody. But I feel like I've got to say it anyway, just in case there is one or two of you out there. And then I'll go through the pile with you to see if you can get something else from it, or something else comes out to me. This is what you don't want, and the upturned pile, and the pile with the cards are down is what you do want. I don't know what that is yet, so just so it doesn't divert me from this one to begin with. This is what I've got with this pile here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles in the centre here. You've got the Ten of Cups here. So that to me is like family, accumulation of material goods and emotional deeds, if you know what I mean. It probably has got something to do with family, whether it's they're married or whether they are very committed to their mum or their dad and their brothers and sisters, somebody very involved with family. And this doesn't make sense to me as yet. You've got here the Knight of Cups, so it's like that person almost like still being very attached to their family. Which type of family, whether it is their immediate family, their own kids, or their wife, or their husband, or their sort of family that they were with when they were young, I don't know. And you've got here the Princess of Swords. So this to me has got something to do with family, something to do with being emotionally committed or going backwards and forwards or giving their affection, to the people that they love. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it could make sense. If you can, just with those cards there, if you can put that into a situation, which it wouldn't surprise me if there's one or two of you out there with this situation, you could be interested in somebody who's already married or already has a family. And I know people as well with the children here who got together, both of them divorced, but got together, and the kids were all pushed together in the same house, and it was difficult. It was difficult. Maybe you've already had a relationship where you've had to share your person with somebody else. Maybe maybe you didn't get on with their family. Maybe like mother-in-law, father-in-law were awkward, and you're half dreading that again. You don't want to be over-involved in this person's family. To me, it would feel like you want this person to be clear about where they want to be, not in two camps. I know when I saw it, I thought, well, that's not going to apply to anybody. But I'm trying to explain why I've got that, and you may be able to see something different. Please put it in the comment section below if you can. You've got here the Knight of Wands. Again, both like movement cards. One emotionally moving, one, like vigorously just moving for the sake of enjoying moving. Then you've got the High Priestess, which makes me think that maybe you've been left. Or, it's a very internal card. It's a very feminine card. It's like the person that sits at home and is left, where they, even the Three of Wands down here, it's like shooting off into life and waiting to see what's coming back. And maybe I'm wrong in this. Maybe it's not just committing to family or family commitments, but it could be something to do, I suppose my mind's going back to my parents, like sport. It isn't in here though. My dad wasn't at home because he was always playing sport. He was always playing cricket or football, or he was at the pub, and it was basically accepted then, not now, but it was just the way life was. And but it's got something in here. Your worst possible type of relationship is somebody that is engrossed elsewhere and giving their physical energy and their emotional energy to something else, whether it is work, whether it is family, and it's cutting off. You've got the Four of Discs here as well, not being able to pull two things together. And maybe you've had this experience, boyfriend, girlfriend, who was always in work or just elsewhere. It's like their energy is elsewhere. And to start off with a communication card, a strong one, and to end in a smaller communication card, you didn't get chance possibly to talk about it, to exchange ideas, to connect properly a lot of the time, I would guess. And the Princess of Swords could just be a child, or again, it's a bit like playing noughts and crosses. These lead up together. They're all, swords, communication. The communication wasn't there, I think, because this person, or your worst person that you can imagine, is somebody that's absent, committed elsewhere. So you could have a lot of air in you and communicating, being close to somebody, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, where you want to go in life, you know, the last book you've read, what you want, you know, what excites you, like going to galleries, that type of thing, could be very much part of who you are. Definitely somebody who you can laugh with and can joke with and can sit and have a chat with, you know, over dinner and sit there in the evening or go out for a walk together. It's boring you. It's like old people's lines there. Go out for a walk. I don't know. Whatever. Share ideas, share thoughts, share what the future may hold and ideas for that. Because this person is like, this to me is these two cards on either side, the High Priestess and the Four of Cups. In amongst all this communication, it's like somebody would shut off the Four of Discs. It's like, no, I'm busy. And the High Priestess is, to me, somebody who's left looking inward, which could have been good for you. The High Priestess is a great card for learning your lessons in a very sort of subtle way. I don't know why I'm thinking of this. In the news recently about Stonehenge, finding that one of the rocks, one of the top sort of plinth rocks, whatever they are, was from Scotland, and we always thought they were from Wales. Why am I thinking of that? Oh, I don't know. We were discussing it. I said, well, surely they were just all druids anyway. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking of that. I don't know why it's got nothing to do with this. Oh, the High Priestess, I suppose, has internal. Yeah, it's like hiding a view of life or spirituality inside yourself, and it's, you know, it's seen as a bit esoteric, I suppose. That's what I've got. Oh my God. Okay, right. So what you don't want is somebody who's committed elsewhere. You want somebody to spend time with you, to make you feel that you're exciting, that life's exciting, that there's possibilities. You do not want somebody who is busy with family all the time, probably already, you know, you don't want somebody who's committed with family already. You want them out of that relationship, possibly, to do things with you or to be with you more than do things, to be honest. You don't want to be honest, is you don't want to share your person too much with other situations or people. And I know that sounds, everybody's like, no, that's not me. But if you've experienced that before, it could be you. If you've had to share and you've never really got as close to the person as you want to, it could be you. I do think it's like buying a house, isn't it? Our relationship's like buying a house. The last house that you had, let's just say it was a little cottage and it was dark. What you're looking for next is big windows. Maybe you've had somebody who's been like this. Let's have a look what you're looking for. Three of Fire. Possibilities, probabilities, looking outwards, promises. You want somebody you can plan life with. Pallas Athena. It's like a friend. You want a friend. Again, air people, they want friends. They want somebody they can communicate with. Fire, you know, to really simplify it, fire people perhaps want lovers. But I would say air, I'd go through the others, but I can't think of the words. Yeah, you want somebody who you can experience life with. Ace of Pentacles, the Strength card. Oh, wow, okay. You want somebody morally strong with substance and that knows what they want and dedicates themselves to you. I don't know whether you've been left floundering in the past with somebody that's like not committed and been dispersed with their energy, because these are a big impact. The Ace of Pentacles here is like you want somebody to plan, you want somebody that's going to make life feel exciting, you want a friend. And the Strength of Justice card, you don't want I was going to say something that starts with W and ends in anchor then. I don't know I was going to say that and I'm glad I didn't. It's you want somebody who is strong, tells the truth, doesn't lie to please. The Strength card and the Justice card is somebody who's morally strong, somebody who's fair. They're not somebody that promises something when they know they can't give it. It's like it's like you saying, I'd rather be hurt but know where I sit with you before we move forward. Maybe you've been cheated on before, maybe. I don't know with these cards here. Or maybe you've been in a relationship with somebody who's already in a relationship and it's been difficult to get their attention. Because this is like, no, I need somebody who's focused on me. And I know that you could say this about anybody. But this is, Major Arcana and the Ace of Pentacles here. And both of these are moral fortitude. Even the Justice card, I think, is. It's the truth. It's fair. And the Strength card there is doing what's right regardless of whether it's painful or whether it suits them. It's just doing what's right. Something I've noticed about moral fortitude, I've noticed on recently about Aquarius moons that, I don't know, I'm not telling you this, but I don't know if it's interesting or not. I noticed a lot of Aquarian moons tend to enjoy playing with moral fortitude, moral thoughts. What's his name? Denzel Washington. A lot of the things he says are quite profound and well thought out. It's obviously somewhat the way that he, his mind runs. And there's a guy who plays Captain America. I don't know if he's Aquarius sun or moon, but it's the same thing. They like playing with. And Shia LaBeouf is something he's very Aquarian about him as well. They enjoy because of the sound of their own voice. But they do. It's airing, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's they spend a lot of their time, I guess, thinking about what is right. What is morally right, what's spiritually right, and it comes out in whatever they say, how they're thinking. There was somebody else as well that kick-started that astrology search. I can't remember who it was, but this is your person. So they may have, just because that's coming to my mind, Aquarian friend, friendship, potential, steady, sticks with you, which is fixed, isn't it, I suppose? Sticks with you and experiences life in a very steady way that you both know where you sit and you're not sharing their energy with other people. That's what I've got. I'm going to leave that there. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? I never know. I go through the part, I don't really know what I'm getting, and I feel like I should give lots of different scenarios, but you can lose people in that. If something's hitting me in the face, I'll say something different, but that is probably the best I can sum that up. I'm going to leave you there with that pile number 3. I hope it helps. We'll release readings tonight. It should be Sunday. If I get this out, it should be Sunday. On the website HULUPPU.co.uk. And there's a new reading on Patreon, which is a 48-hour reading, so it's back to you really quick. And as I said in pile number 2, there is a panic in my house when one comes through. I just try and get it done. No, that's a lie. You shouldn't use try. It gets done. It gets done. But I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you again, everybody. Bye.